Hey friends, Tuxx here. You know, it is a great time to be a fan of Nintendo because this week a brand new Zelda game is coming out. And in the true tradition of Nintendo, like in the past with 3DS, they're releasing a special edition console. Now, if you go back in my queue on Tuxx Toys here, you'll see several different older, like Zelda 3DS consoles, which have always been some of the most elaborate and beautiful 3DS special releases. So it's definitely worth checking out. And they have a brand new Zelda console, so we're going to check that out. Let's go ahead and unbox this right now. Now, looking at the box is this beautiful artwork, nice presentation, goes along with the game. The true ones say special edition like this in the US, so look out for counterfeits. But very cool stuff. And one thing that makes this really good is this is the OLED, the new version. So if you're someone like me who's had an original Switch for a long time and haven't upgraded for whatever reason, this is a great opportunity to go ahead and not only get a OLED Switch, but actually go ahead and get a special edition. And this originally sold out almost instantly everywhere, but then later Nintendo released more of them. So at the time of releasing this video, this is available on Amazon. I will have a link for you with the best Amazon price down below. So definitely worth checking out. But very cool box. We got lots of circles. On the back here shows the artwork and the controllers. Lots of specially made parts of this console just to give it a unique Zelda look. Lots of white, lots of gold. Looking very, very cool. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the box here. We'll flip the little tab on back. It looks like the bottom is the proper way of opening this. And of course, I'm going to try and keep the box nice. I like to collect things, and I love to keep the original boxes in pristine condition. I'm going to go ahead and flip this flap. And this is kind of like a clamshell effect. It shows you, this is kind of cool, like if you're new to 3DS, it shows you, one, plug it in, two, set it up. It kind of goes step by step. And this is possible, like if you've had a previous one. Oh, look at that, guys. That is looking good. If you have a previous one, you can transfer over your games and saves and all that good stuff. Okay, if you have any question about that, let me know in the comments below. Now, there's two trays here. We'll go ahead and pull out the first tray here, and then we'll take a look at this after we look at the accessories first. So down below here, we have your standard power cable. Everything's individually wrapped, really nice. Nice to include a power cable. Now, this is a USB-C cable, and I've heard, and I know from experience traveling, that it's easy to charge your Switch just with some other USB-C. But I like to use the original one that's really made for it. So I try and keep it all legit, keep it original, nothing special. This is just a normal Switch control power supply, USB-C. As you can see, USB-C, but it is branded, which is nice, and it's the right one for the system, which is very cool. So very, very nice to include that. And for a while, Nintendo was not including chargers with 3DSs, so I'm glad they've continued to include chargers. Mr. Bowser, Doug Bowser, thank you for including a charger, because people like that. Okay, they really, really do. At least I know I really do. All right, USB. Let's see here, this is the cable, and strike that this is HDMI cables. Okay, so we have a normal HDMI cable, so you can hook this up to your TV, and of course this is branded Nintendo right there. You can see Nintendo, so very cool. Feels nice quality, rubbery, good ends to it. I would say this isn't like a super expensive cable, but it's definitely not a cheap cable either. Like, this is a nice cable, which honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and use with my Switch. So, and then it looks like down here there is one more piece, which this came out with the original Switch too, and I'll be honest with you, I've yet to ever use the little controller rig where you put the little Joy-Cons into this to create a controller. So you can see the Joy-Cons kind of slide into here, and it really makes a solid, good controller. They do sell controllers, and I have used those in the past. If you go back to my queue on Tuxx reviews, you'll see I've purchased and done some different controller modifications, switching skins out, and actually just buying regular controllers. It is interesting, there's a little hole right here, so I guess you could hook that to a lanyard or something. Very interesting, though. It's a good way of not losing it, I guess. So anyway, there's that. Be honest with you, I'm going to put this back in the box right now, because I don't know if I'm ever going to use it. And there's one more thing down here. These are like, is there only one, or is there two? There is two. There's the little Joy-Con. This goes back to the days of the Wii, so you don't throw the controllers of the TV or something. I never really particularly use these, but they do have little side buttons and everything, so it is useful. But again, I usually use my Switch as a portable unit, not as a at-home console, and so I really tend to keep it just all together as, normal Switch configuration. But it's cool, and it's worth noting that these are color matched with gold and white. So these are special for the Zelda edition. They're not like the standard black ones, at least. So pretty cool stuff. Very nice. Good buttons, springy. Will I use these? Honestly, probably not. So we'll leave those in the box for now. Okay, this is, I think, one of the coolest parts of these special editions. I really like the special docks. And I like it that Nintendo makes them special most of the time. And this one here is special. You can see we have some special little gold trim there, looking very cool. Nintendo logo, spot for cords, cable management, more little Zelda stuff on the bottom. The bottom here, the one downside, this could be rubbery. This feels a little different than the plastic here, but it doesn't really feel like rubber. I guess maybe they have to have it of this texture. I just did that scratch right there with my fingernail to like include all this type of stuff and stereo lumbered stuff. So anyway, and there is the front looking beautiful. Look at that. That is looking good, guys, man. That definitely shines. It says Zelda all over it. I'm digging these like little gold circle things. That's really neat. And of course, you got the Triforce there, and it does definitely match up with previous cool Nintendo, Switch, and 3DS Zelda stuff. So very, very cool. I think when the original Switch came out, Zelda came out at the same time, and I have videos of all this too. But they didn't really make a special edition Switch, unfortunately. There were skins you could buy and stuff, but not an actual Switch. But this looks good. I also want to say it looks like the inside's improved a little bit over the original docks. It is glossy on the inside, and it looks like there's a little bit better management for sliding it in. I know originally on the original dock, people complained about scratching their screens on the Switch when they slid it in, but it looks like they've worked that out a little bit better with this new version of the dock. So very cool. Okay, so looking at the controllers, it's cool because they are unique and different from each other. And maybe that might help to keep the confusion level down. We got white on the backside. This is the left controller. Nice springy little thing. Nothing really feels particularly different. All the buttons feel very good, very springy and nice, a little clicky, if anything. Really good. Rubbery top, nothing has happened. I know sometimes in some consoles like the PS Vita, sometimes like little joysticks like this will tend to break or kind of fray apart, but looks like this one is nice and rubbery and hopefully will last. My original Switch one has lasted the test of time, so it isn't broken up or anything, but I've had problems with other controllers sometimes on handhelds, like Sony Vita. The Vita had some issues. Okay, here's the right Joy-Con. And here you go. You got lots of like little white swirlies, little Zelda artwork there. Looking good. All the buttons feeling good. Nothing too different. Nothing that you wouldn't expect. We have the triggers up here, so if you're using it individually, of course, you can use the little trigger top right up here. I don't know anyone who really does that too often. There's been a few like good indie games that use that, like tank shooting games and things, but most people I know don't play Switch that way. But it's cool they give you that option. So very cool stuff. I should mention there is a reset button right there for connectivity with Bluetooth and stuff too. So anyway, very, very cool. We'll lay that down here. And of course, here is the Switch OLED. There is some more things in here. I'm not going to, for the purpose of the video, I'm not going to unbox it, but you can see there's some paperwork hiding in here. Just these boxes don't come apart the best or go back together the best. So I'm going to leave that alone for right now. This feels a little heavier maybe than the original one. The dimensions are virtually identical. Nothing too different. Looks very nice. The back does feature a Zelda special edition look to it. You see all the little Zelda swirlies, so that's pretty cool. And then the dock itself, instead of being just one little thing that clicks out like a kickstand that falls off on the original one, now they've kind of made it be the whole thing. Okay, so you can see this will pop out just like that. It is clickable. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it has clickable levels. So it's like one click and then kind of a very smooth slide. There's a lot of tension in here as you pull this, so it's not like all loose where you can do this and it's gonna be like flopping in the wind. This is very tight, so that will keep it just the right level that you want it at. So very cool stuff. And again, this does pop down, and then of course lots of great artwork here at the back. Let me go ahead and I'll slide the Joy-Cons in. These will go in very simple, I'm sure, just like that. Very easy. This will pop in like this. Here's a look at the back. So you see that is kind of interesting how it's like black with circles, but then the ends are white. I'm not sure I'm fond of that or not. Like, I almost kind of wish that the whole thing be white, but I know if it was white, it probably would get dirtier easier. So maybe the back was just gold or something, and they had gold swirls instead of just being like matte black with like a clear transparent, like gray color or white color, whatever that is, to the reflective part. You know, that might be kind of a cooler color scheme, because that looks a little weird to me. Let me know what you think. The front looks perfect though. See how that gold looks really good with the black? Like, that's really good. But the back, I think that's a little unusual of a choice. And you can see it's just like a piece of plastic. So we have plastic part here, gold. The part that screws in the back is white. So you probably could buy like an aftermarket part that would change that color. You know, like on Splatoon ones, they're like, you know, neon green and pink or whatever, you know, and it wouldn't be hard for them to have some other color in there. And these are normal small screws, kind of like a jeweler's screw set. Should be able to get that unscrewed for you. You could pop a different color, but really, again, there's all the artwork on here. So I don't know if you'd really want to change that or not. Let me know in the comments below, or shoot me a message if you'd like to change that. It's worth mentioning we still do have the power volume up down here, and it looks like there is a little reset there. There is a spot here for the game card. I still wish they would have, this is Nintendo, this is part of my wish list here. Doug Bowser, if you're watching this video, I'd love it if you had more than one hole for games. I really wish consoles like this would have spot for 2 or 3 or several games you could plug in. So that way it'd be kind of like having the download version, but for someone like me who really prefers to collect physical media, it would be nice to have several slots so you could plug several games in. Or maybe even just like a little cubby hole where you could put storage, or they'd just be sitting there loose or something. I don't know, just kind of a crazy thought. I'm sure there's some space constraints to that. Down here we have a USB-C, that's how you charge it in the dock. That corresponds with the dock hole right down in there. And just to get, okay, so I have the count all connected now from my old Switch, which is actually off camera right here, to my new Switch, which is right here. So everything is connected count-wise. Now, one downside I did find out is that you pretty much have to re-download every game that you want. Okay, so if you're someone who has, you know, downloaded a bunch of games, it's going to take time. Like right now I'm downloading Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet, which is a great game actually for Nintendo Switch. But the problem is it's going to take time. So, you know, be prepared, you know, to pay the price for your online decadence and have to re-download every game that you ever bought, or kind of risk is not having it. You know, that's the bad thing about not buying physical media, is you can't just stick the cartridge in. You have to re-download it, you know, and sometimes eShops disappear and you could like lose stuff forever. So it's one downside. Is what I would say, you know, be careful buying online, you know, like buy physical media, because actually eShops are convenient, but they do have a downside of having to re-download every game. And, you know, downloading could take some time on Switch. It's not super speedy, you know. This is still sitting here waiting to download, you know, re-download. It's just sitting there and nothing has changed. There's no bar, there's no nothing, you know. So anyway, guys, that's the deal with that. I love the console. Everything is super beautiful. Love the artwork. Love the aesthetics of the whole thing. The only thing I'd say negative about the console and the whole setup itself is I still feel like it's a little weird having the white background. I guess it kind of matches the white dock, but still, like, I wish it was just gold, you know. The front here, this makes sense visually, but the back side here doesn't make as much sense visually. The console itself is beautiful. The OLED looks great. And I will say, if you look at the bezel, it's the same size essentially as the original Switch, but the bezel is much smaller, so you actually do get a little bit more screen size. You know, it does look bright and beautiful, even with these bright LED lightings, you know, light shining here on the system. So anyway, guys, that is the deal with that. If you have any questions about this super duper Zelda Special Edition, let me know. Of course, it does not include the game. That is what Nintendo normally does, and I think, in fact, it pretty much always does, you know. So they get you for, you know, $350 for the console, and or scalper prices, you know, if you need to. And then, of course, the game itself will be another now $70. So they do kind of get you for all that. But anyway, you know, great system. Love Nintendo. There's a lot of great Nintendo 3DS unboxings in my Tuxx Toys you can check out, and also things like the Nintendo Media event with Doug Bowser. The president of Nintendo was there. Got to meet him. Super cool guy. The guy who voices Mario, Charles, like, super cool guy. A lot of fun. Like, a big fan of the company, and just I'm happy that they actually are releasing this. And I'm going to Nintendo Center coming up in August in New York, so I'll definitely be checking that out then and buying a whole bunch of new stuff. And that is for Pokemon Go Fest, actually, so hopefully maybe Doug Bowser, maybe even Reggie or some other people will be there, so it'd be great to meet some more Nintendo execs, or previous execs, if you will. Okay, all right, friends, hope you're having a good one. Any questions, let me know. Link for the consoles down below in the description. Thanks for watching. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.